Isaac is the former chairman of the FDIC under Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. He's the chairman of Secura Isaac Group. Welcome back to the show, Bill. Thanks for being here.
It's really good to be back with you.
I appreciate you joining on a Fed day, too. So do you see this as somewhat of a victory lap by this Fed chair, pulling a big 50 basis point lever?
I don't think he's ready to declare a victory lap, but I'm sure he's pleased to be able to have a cut here. I have a lot of confidence in Chairman Powell. The Fed had really, I think, misbehaved for quite some time, for at least 10 or 15 years before him. And he stepped in when things were almost out of control, and decided that he would stop the easy money, the zero interest rate money, and raise rates and bring things under a lot better control. I give him all the credit in the world for what he's done. And if he wants to take a victory lap right now, that'd be fine. Although I wouldn't do it if I were he, because we don't really know where we are. We hope we've made some real progress, but I don't think he would declare a victory lap.
Do you worry at all at this point, Bill, about reflation, about like a 70s kind of redux round two, or do you think the last 6 months have done enough to kind of disprove that case?
I do worry about it, and one of the things that's on my mind a lot these days is the fact that we have a deficit that is, where is it, 145 trillion or 35 trillion, whatever it is, I don't remember. But it's 35 trillion, as I recall, and it's really, really too high. That we've never been in this bad a fiscal condition as we are right now. I worry about that a lot.
Now, William, what about the policy side from the election cycle? The Trump administration, transition and team basically has said that they want Powell gone. How disruptive would that be if we took the Fed chair out at this point, didn't let him serve the rest of his term?
That's a tough one. A new president has a right to appoint whomever they want to appoint. I do think that if the Trump administration replaces him, they will replace him with somebody good, and certainly I would hope for that. And there's nobody's indispensable in this world, and so if the decision was made to replace Powell, I think they'd have to find somebody very, very good to replace him, because he's done a very good job.
Do you think that Powell thought about his career optionality in making this decision today?
I doubt it. I don't think he needs to do that. If he were going to be replaced as chairman of the Fed, I think he would accept that. He doesn't need this job. He's doing it as a public service, and if somebody wanted him out, I don't think he would resist.
Tell me about the move here in terms of Powell's kind of approach to thinking about the long-term process. When you think about starting, stopping, the way we used to think about cycles, once the Fed starts cutting, they kind of go all the way back down. As you know, in the past, yield curves uninverting have happened close to recessions. Unemployment risings happened close to recessions. Do you think that we have the ability to tourniquet this bleeding in the economy through rates? Bill, is that possible?
I'm not sure I quite understood the last. I couldn't quite hear you on the last part of the question.
50 bips. If he continues this, do you think that has the ability to support the economy?
I wouldn't. If I were sitting there right now, I wouldn't have probably gone 50 right now. I would have gone 25. I'm not questioning him going to 50. I'm just saying I probably would have gone more slowly than that. And I'm not convinced that the bad news is all behind us. That this 50 basis points right now is enough to get us out of the woods. And I think they're going to have to take their time doing it, because as far as I'm concerned, inflation is not gone yet, and we need to I mean, and I think Powell admitted that there's still inflation, and we need to be very careful about what we do from this point forward. I would urge him to be cautious and not get carried away with trying to get rates down too fast, and certainly not too far.
We also, you weren't the only one who was expecting or thinking 25 was right to go. I mean, the market was basically a coin flip. Do you think it's right for Powell to create some distance between himself and the market, to bring an element of surprise? That seems kind of a playbook, your contemporary in your time from Mr. Volcker, right? Like keeping a little bit of surprise?
Well, Paul Volcker had a huge problem on his hands, and he had to shock the markets, and did. Nobody could have dreamed that he was ever going to take interest rates to 21.5%, which he did. I couldn't have dreamed that, and I worked beside him, and I knew what he was doing. But he was a courageous guy in a very, very difficult time, and so he felt the markets had to be shocked because inflation was so high and had been so high for so long, and so he had to take some very strong actions. I'm not sure that Powell is in a place that requires that.
Interesting. He did, though, surprise the market. Should he get some credit then for going against the grain?
Well, I wouldn't have done it. I would have done the 25, but it doesn't matter because I'm not chairman of the Fed. He is, and I think I have a lot of faith in him. He took this whole inflation fight on when nobody else would. I mean, we were in very, very deep trouble with long-term, long years of way too low interest rates and zero interest rates and the like. So he stepped in and acted when nobody else would for years. So he has a lot of credit as far as I'm concerned, and I would trust him to do what's right.
All right. Love the opinion and like to get the perspective from you. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate your time.